Okay, so it seems like there's been a pretty big update with the whole Novel Horizons situation, and this one affects a lot of you guys that potentially might be trying to get back, some of these stuff. Because if you don't know, obviously recently there's been a situation with the company Novel Horizons, a company which obviously makes figures for VTubers and some other merch stuff too. And yeah, they've worked with pretty much most of the top VTubers, and obviously a lot of the top VTubers have had to reply to the entire situation that has been going on, right? And obviously this all kickstarted with this one tweet from Amalee, saying like she was notified that Novel Horizons was bankrupt, and essentially a lot of people weren't going to get their figures or their money back, and things like that, right? And there's been a big kind of effort to get obviously fans their money back, and creating forms, and obviously people can put in how much they're missing and things like that, because you can't well, you could charge it back, but obviously sometimes like the time has expired. It's been so long since the first pre-order that you can't actually charge it back, because it's been too long, right? So obviously the VTubers themselves are now trying to figure out their own like kind of solutions to maybe get the money back, or provide them with a replacement thing, or anything like that, right? And well, it seems like though people that have been trying to kind of, I guess, recoup the designs. For example, some people trying to obtain the digital models behind some of the figures and things so that they could recreate them. There might be a couple of issues, as there's been a couple of posts from multiple attorney people, and that make like content creator lawyers, or whatever you want to call it, saying, this morning I uncovered multiple open liens against all assets of @Novel Horizons. Though efforts have been underway to help creators get leftover merchandise from Novel's warehouse and get them any files related to their design, be aware that continuing to receive such merchandise carries significant risk. Similarly, if you've already received files, using them for other merch also carries potential risk. Speak with your legal counsel about any options that you may have regarding this unfortunate development. So yeah, obviously it seems like there's been something that has kind of occurred in the sense of there's, yeah, as they say, multiple liens, which if you don't know is essentially like a debt. It's like something that the fact that like someone or a company or whatever owns things to pay off a debt, or whatever you want to call it. And sometimes, yeah, they say that you can kind of get dragged into it if you end up taking things from them while this is going on, including obviously digital model designs and things like that. That can also be considered. There's also another post here from another content creator lawyer person saying, so @Novel Horizons has multiple liens against them, including an all asset lien. Do not accept anything from them digitally or physically. You do not want to be dragged into court for a gratuitous transfer or clawback by the creditors. One is Chase. They don't mess about, which I'm assuming they mean Chase Bank. So yeah, of course, that is someone that, yeah, you don't want to mess about with. Saying, what do you recommend for customer cases where pre-order merch was never prepared and the creator who they collabed with obtained the 3D model files? The 3D model files are property of the company, and so the creator should destroy those. The customer should initiate a chargeback if able. Saying, what does that mean for unfulfilled merch? Does it mean it belongs to the bank now and not the people who already paid for it? Essentially, if they do not have other assets to meet the payment, they will liquidate and all assets. So essentially what they're saying is, even if Novel Horizons tries to get out the remainder of the merch they have left, apparently they can't do it because they technically don't own it anymore to pay off this like kind of debt that they have. So again, that is something that is pretty worrying, right? And also people saying, wait, like Chase Bank, saying, oh, so they fucked up, which, yeah, obviously, yeah, 100%. It seems like they definitely did mess up pretty heavily, and obviously it puts people in a pretty bad kind of position now, because obviously there was a lot of hope that potentially some of the figures could potentially get through, and maybe even get sent to the creator for them to send out themselves, or there could be a chance of getting the 3D models and recreating it. I know Height, the kind of PC case company, said that they wanted to help out and potentially make the figures if they could get hold of the models. And there's been people, for example, like Nikita here, obviously the Oshibar CEO, who obviously has been working to get those 3D models back. But obviously there has been a little bit of an update from them saying, please read the important legal update below. In light of the newly uncovered liens, I'm immediately ceasing all physical and digital asset recovery efforts. I'm not an attorney and cannot provide legal advice on how this impacts your specific assets. To all affected creators, I strongly advise you to secure your own legal counsel to navigate these risks safely. Please direct all further inquiries regarding this matter to legal professionals. So essentially, it's turning into one of these things where obviously a lot of VTubers have been very hands-on, for example, with the Google Docs and stuff, with forms of how to get, with the amount of people that have been kind of affected by this. But now it really does, fall into a legal thing, I think, where, you got to be careful, right? You can't just like do this kind of stuff and, it'll be fine. You kind of need to consult people now and see if what you're doing is okay and if it can get you into any legal trouble, especially with like Chase Bank and things like that, because again, you don't want to be in legal trouble with them, right? But yeah, as I said, it kind of puts them in a sticky situation because it's like, on the one hand, people want to create these figures. On the one hand, they want to give the money back. They want to maybe give out the remainder of the figures or recreate them or literally anything, right? They want to do that. The VTubers want to do that. But on the other hand, can they actually do that? Is it legal for them to do that? Will they get brought into this huge court thing apparently and that has been going on with Novel Horizons by doing that? Again, those are kind of questions that a lot of people are asking. But obviously, that's two separate people that have come out about it recently. And yeah, so I end up with a box of my merch, figure out independently how to get it to the folks that ordered it and did not receive it, and all seems fine. But that box was not really mine legally. It was part of a lien, and before that I illegally obtained it and sold illegal goods, something like that. Then thank you, really appreciate it. Obviously that comes from Maiko, who also has been trying to get a hold of all of the kind of models. Apparently they say you really appreciate the update and findings from your end on the legal side. So it seems like, yeah, potentially they talk to this guy behind the scenes, right, just to see what they could do and what was okay. Obviously this is someone who manages both Michi and Fruit. So of course it seems like, yeah, this is like legitimate. This isn't just some random schizo. It is an actual, like, credible person that has been working with some of the VTubers and their managers, right? So they've taken a good look into this, and they've said that essentially there could be a couple of problems with A, receiving products from them, and B, obviously receiving or trying to obtain the 3D models to create said products. Which, yeah, if you are someone that is, waiting for an order or things like that, then if you do receive one, that could be a little bit of an issue. Again, I don't know how much that'd be an issue if you did like pay for it and things. It is very, very confusing on how that really works and whether you should really have that product or not. But again, I would just be careful. Just obviously, yeah, if you do find yourself a little bit unsure, maybe go and speak to someone about it, because again, obviously it seems like you could find yourself in very hot water very quickly. But I think this is more so a problem for the creators rather than the consumers that have been obviously buying it. I feel like the creators are the ones that potentially have the more problems legally against them whenever it comes to like the 3D models and potentially handing out the the figures and stuff themselves to fans. So yeah, just be a little bit careful, of course, because again, it seems to be a very unstable situation right now. But yeah, that's essentially all I got for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameSubs, use my code Kaza, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. So yeah.